Welcome to
Today's Krunchy and Milk.
Yes, it's Cleveland's longest running podcast and the place to hang with your internet besties. Got questions or comments? The email address for the show is podcast@stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Crunchy, of course, being spelled with a K.
Today's Crunch.
You can also give us a call or message us at 216-264-6311. That's 216-264-6311.
Today's Krunchy.
We're available anywhere fine podcasts are, and of course at the website stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share the show wherever possible, like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. And now,
Today's Krunchy.
on with the show.
Today's Krunchy. Today's Krunchy.
I'm saying
Today's
nobody
Krunchy.
believes in astrology until they believe in astrology. And I'm not the dude to be like, oh, do my charts and this, that, and the third. But it's certain shit that, and I know it's probably like lucky or wide nets being tossed out there on what makes a Virgo, a Cancer, a Gemini, so forth and so on. But bro, when it hit its mark, and it hit it clean, I'd be like, yeah, that's real Virgo-licious of your boy. And
back in the day when we used to get the plain dealer where it was readily available daily. I used to especially like a teenager, like in school, I used to read my daily horoscope daily because papers were always around.
I used to try to not read it until later and compare notes.
See how your day went?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to read. I mean, that's a whole nother thing. Having a newspaper was an interesting time. Like reading the newspaper every day was a thing. But anywho, I used to read horoscopes every day. Then I remember we used to have like a bookstore downstairs.
Yeah.
From our job, and I remember buying two things. I bought a palm reading book, and I bought a horoscope book. Like where you read like different, just like about every sign and all the signs' characteristics, and I don't think it was to the point where it's like now it was like, oh, you're a Sagittarius, but you're in a Scorpio moon. Like I don't know that stuff, and I know I'm not probably saying like the terms right on it, but I just remember I was like, that's when I after reading that book, I was like, I really felt like this is bullshit because like I read the book from cover to cover, and I felt like I have aspects of every one of these signs. And it just made me feel like it was just like the different aspects of your personality can tune into every part if you feel like that. And I remember me and one of the ladies who sat next to me, like we would just quiz each other. We went back and forth and just pick like different horoscopes, or not different horoscopes, but different astrological signs, and we were just like, oh yeah, this ain't real. Because we would just pick random ones and we would test people throughout throughout the floor, like, hey, which one do you think you are? And we tested them, and we just kind of felt like it wasn't real.
Hey.
Yeah, I don't really believe in that stuff, but like I can't lie. Like there are times where I'll read like personality traits and I'll be like, yeah, I do that shit.
And that's what it is. But who knows? Like I said, it could be like I said, it's just casting a wide net, and everybody got a little some of that in them. But sometimes you are absolutely correct. I'll be like, ooh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but it's just like with anything else in the world, it's like you don't believe until you do. Like, cause like you said, sometimes it'd be like, holy shit, that was my fucking day. And then like, you don't know if you're just being sensitive or are you being in tune. Like,
and so they always say like, oh, you should do your star chart, your birth sign, what time you was born, all that nonsense to really get an accurate reading of what's what. And sure, I guess. But I always laugh when I see the meme. It's like, some boy asking his mom, well, hey, what time was I born? And like, don't talk to that girl no more.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see that on Instagram all the time.
Yeah.
Like I know it's some, but like, I mean, I can't wait to tell my kids two things. Like, hey man, if she got crystals, get away from her. And if she don't masturbate, don't mess with her. Don't do it.
simple rules that will probably make for you to be a better person, son. So like just the old man when I spit this particular type of game on you, man. So that is now I feel like we need to go ahead. Let's look up some Virgo.
All right, so I
Gemini.
Speaking of like just fortune,
Libra
like have you guys ever had like a fortune cookie? Did you just like, God damn, this got me? Because fortune cookies ain't what they used to be. First of all,
yeah,
they're terrible now.
Deep as fuck. Yeah, they bad now.
You open up one and it'd be like, you're gonna get something on sale at Walmart.
Like
shit, that would fuck me up if I got one like that. I'll be like, oh, word.
Right. It'll be like, you are brave. I'm like, what? I mean, everybody can be brave about something.
I used to.
Yeah, that's not really like a fortune. That's just a character trait.
Yeah,
I had
the trash one night late.
I had a fortune
to be like, keep doing you, baby.
One of me and Ness is like probably first Chinese experiences together, and it was like super cute. And I used to keep it on my desk, and I wouldn't doubt if it's in the box of shit I brought home from work downstairs somewhere. But that's the only one, and it's because it was cute and had a little something to it. But let's ride through a few. To make sure I'm on the same site for everything. This is zodiacsign.com.
Make sure you go Zodiac Sign at zodiackiller.com. Big different sites.
All right. Here are Virgo personality traits. Well, here, we'll just run through it all. Element, earth. Color, gray, beige, pale yellow. None of them colors fuck with me. I don't fuck with any of them colors. My quality is mutable. My day is hump day. Sure. My ruler is Mercury. My greatest compatibility, Pisces and Cancer. My lucky numbers 5, 14, 15, 23, and 32. Personality traits are as followed. Strengths, loyal. Yes. Analytical. Yes. Kind. I have my ups, I have my downs. Hardworking. Depends on what it is. Practical. Sometimes to a fault. Weakness, shyness to like a motherfucker. Worrisome. Overly critical of self and others. Yes. All work and no play. No, that's not me at all. Virgo likes animals to a certain degree. Healthy food. That's a lie. Nature. Fuck with it. Cleanliness. I am kind of weird about it. Rudeness. These are Virgo dislikes. Rudeness. I go hard with somebody's rude. It's a problem. Asking for help. I am getting better at that with age. So I'm going to say yes at one point in time. Now, not so much. Dislikes taking center stage. Correct, but I now host like 3 podcasts. So, sort of.
Like you keep on reading those, and I just keep on thinking how it equates to me.
Oh, no. You next, baby. Gemini, the gifted one. Air sign. Light green and yellow are your colors. Quality, again, mutable. So we're both mutable. Your day, Wednesday. My day, Wednesday. Ruler, Mercury. My ruler, Mercury. Greatest compatibility, Sagittarius and Aquarius. Lucky numbers 5, 7, 14, 23. Your personality traits. Strengths, gentle. Yes. Affectionate. Yes. Curious. Yes. Like always, that's a consistent part of that I very much like about you. Your curiosity, in fact. Adaptable. Yes. Ability to learn quickly and exchange ideals. Across the board on that one, buddy. Sorry. Weakness.
But yet again, I say, aren't you all those things too?
I am gentle. I am affectionate. I am curious. I am adaptable. I don't know if I have the ability to learn quickly, but I have the ability to learn. And I don't know if I'm good at exchanging ideals.
You're no doubt one of the smartest people I know. Like you might pick up things in a different way, but like continue.
Fair. Weaknesses. Nervous. I don't think I would ever call you nervous, but do you think of yourself as nervous? And if so, why?
I would think the older I get, maybe the more nervous I get, and maybe that's just anxiety. But like nervousness has never I think nervousness has been my superpower. Like I'll be like, I'll get nervous about something, and it's always been like this. Just brings back to like talking to my son earlier. It's like I had an older brother who had anxiety about certain things,
Mm,
which means I couldn't have those same anxieties.
mm.
So me being nervous about something pushed me to be like, well, I have to get it done because like I'm not going to have anybody else to help me with this or do this with me because like I can't be nervous. So yeah,
Fair, fair. Uh, indecisive.
no, I'm not indecisive at all.
Okay, fair enough. Gemini likes music. Yes. Books. Yes. Magazines. Yes, we just talked about that last week. I used to actually still
Yeah.
have some magazines, and we were talking a little bit ago about newspapers. Yes. Chats with nearly everyone. Yes.
You know what? That's the one thing I gotta push back on. Like, I feel like in my life, and I spoke about this on a previous episode, I talked to more people because that's what I thought was expected of me. I don't like I learned that I don't like having small talk. Like if we're gonna have a meaningful conversation, I'll have it. But chatting is not one of my strong suits anymore.
Fair, fair. Short trips. Yes.
Yeah.
Short trips around town. Yes, in particular.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dislikes being alone. No, I know
I
you love
love
having
being alone.
your time.
Yeah.
Being confined. I don't know what that actually means in a world we live in, but okay.
Yeah.
Don't put
No
me in my
niggas want to
room
go
and
to
close the
jail.
door. What?
That's like I love small spaces. I don't like being
Fascinating.
I like being cozy. Like I remember one of my loves was being behind my door reading a book when I was little. Like
Mm.
closing it because I didn't have my own room. I was like, but if I close this door, can't nobody see me and I can read behind it.
Repetition and routine.
I kind of love a routine.
Sorry.
I,
Could not help myself otherwise. It's problematic in some regards because it's like when I break routine, I'm like, fuck, man, I'm off my
oh
game.
fuck, I don't want to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And box my Libra, air sign. Your color pink and green. Your quality cardinal. Your day Friday. Your ruler Venus. Your greatest compatibility Aries, Aries, and Sagittarius. Your lucky numbers 4, 6, 13, 15, 24. Here are your strengths: cooperative, factual, diplomatic, to a fault. Sometimes you be trying your best. I have to do this diplomatically. We just the most recent podcast that Box was on. We had a discussion about that very thing. Gracious, yes. Fair minded, yes. Social, yes. All these things fit you. Uh, but like, yeah, well, I guess amongst us, are we cooperative and
I believe so.
diplomatic?
Yeah, we'll think about both things before we make a decision.
Yes. Gracious?
I think we can be.
Yeah.
I know definitely 6 and 13 are my lucky numbers, so lunch stole those from me.
Fair minded. Do you think we're fair minded?
Yeah,
Yeah. Social.
we can be.
Vanessa just told me the other day I gotta go to somebody's birthday party, and I'm like, "Fuck, do I have to?" So no, no, I'm not. But I get it. Weaknesses box: indecisive. You think you're indecisive?
I think I can be, yeah. Like, rather than make a decision, I'll procrastinate on. I'll weigh all the options, and I'll get locked up in the choices.
So
Fair.
I don't know if I
That's
agree.
literally
I mean,
indecisive.
but because I've always marveled at the amount of like, is it indecisive? Does all the research you do come from your indecisiveness? Because that's always seemed like a strong suit that I thought that you had. Is like I've always been like, if Lunch look up some shit, he know, and that has
I
always been
think
one of the things I liked about you.
I think it depends on whether it's an informational decision or whether it's an action decision. Because I have a lot of projects around this house that have been started and never finished. Of which my brother is going to be here Saturday, and I already told him I'm putting him to work.
Fair. Avoids confrontation.
No.
Oh yeah.
Again, we just
Yeah, I
talked
do.
about this like 2 weeks ago. Yes, we know this. We know that to be factual. Will carry a grudge. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, till I die.
Self-pity.
My buddy fucking was seeing this girl for a little bit, and something happened. I don't want to get too into their business, but they ended up breaking up, but he didn't want to break up. And so he was heartbroken over it. And then months went by, he started trying to like get his shit together, see other people, and then she started coming back around again. And then I found out today that he's bought this bitch a ticket to go to Las Vegas with us to the Browns game in September. I was just like so close to letting him have it.
Self-pity being the last one of your weaknesses. You think you have pity on yourself? You think you're a self-pity kind of guy?
Yeah.
Really? Fascinating. It would be a self situation. It wouldn't be something I could just observe.
I think it depends. I think it's a byproduct of being overweight my whole life.
Okay. Fuck with it. Your likes. Harmony.
Like a peaceful environment, yeah.
Gentleness.
Like a soft blanket or like a warm touch?
Yes. Sharing with others. Yes.
Too much.
The outdoors.
To a degree.
Fair. All right. Dislikes.
I don't like when it's hot.
I know. Dislikes violence.
Yeah, I like my violence fake.
Injustice.
Like for those that don't understand, I don't like UFC, but I like WWE.
For sure.
Okay.
Injustice.
Depends on what it is.
This one,
I like villains in like comics and movies and stuff, but in real life, yeah,
you want people who did bad things to get gotten taken care of as such. This one, I know to be factual. Loudmouths.
Yeah.
And dislikes conformity, not a conformist.
I do sometimes take the opposite position on things, even if it's not what I believe in, just to be a contrarian. I've done it on this show plenty of times.
Oh man. So I guess in strengths and it kind of it does like you're right. In dislikes, I mean, I don't know who likes violence, but I guess they'll say people who do like UFC and boxing and the like. I guess maybe they do enjoy violence to a degree. Injustice, I would hope no one fucking would root for injustice, but whatever. I guess it's possible. I am loudmouths. I don't know.
I think the way they put that, it's inherently negative. Of course, nobody's gonna like a loud. You being a loudmouth, nobody's gonna like that.
Fair. Conformity of.
Yet again, I feel like they playing the word game. Like it's like if it's what's a good synonym for that?
Uniform?
No, not compatibility.
All lives matter?
You fucking with me. Like passiveness. Like not what's a better word for passive?
All right.
But you know what I mean. Like the kind of the words. I'm a nonconformist, of course. Like conformity is kind of like the beta way of saying something of it. Like nobody wants to. I'm not a conformist, brother.
I guess yeah. I guess when you put it in such a you put it in a negative spin like that, then there you go. That kind of does make sense. But hey, again, I believe it, then I don't believe it, and then I believe it again. And you'll never hear me have beef with it. I'm never gonna be like, I don't believe in that, because that's another thing people will do all the time. Somebody tries says, "Oh, this, that, or third about their star signs." I don't fucking know.
Yeah, like
I'm literally a agnostic. I truly don't know. Therefore, I cannot answer.
it's like it's just not my thing because like I just can't find myself like reading too deep into it. Like it's like tons of other shit like going on where it's just like
Let me tell you something.
I mean
When I saw a 3-star day in the plain dealer, it would sometimes make for a 3-star damn day. Or I'll be like, yeah, that makes sense. That day was definitely 3 stars.
yeah, I just always kind of felt like I know one thing that I do take to heart that I heard, and I know this might be a little bit different, but like I was told that people who were raised in love can't be compatible with people who were raised in struggle. Like if like you didn't like have a calm household and like it was always some shit going on, like a person who like had the opposite is always gonna be strife. Gotcha.
The two relationships I've had, both are people who came from just as jacked up an environment as I did. So I have no medicine to say to the contrary. So
Oh.
also I lightweight think, and I see it in my kids do it too. I lightweight surround myself and have managed to surround myself in life with people who have had a rough go of it in one regard or another. And I see my kids doing the exact same thing. And it's like, but it's we live in the future. So of course it's very different than when I was younger, you know what I'm saying? Now it's all the bullshit that you think it is, but also getting picked on online, you know what I'm saying? Via the social media or some other shit. It's like crazy how the shit goes. It's wild. It's whack when you think about it, but still, it just is. So I have to agree with you, bro. In that regard, that makes perfect sense. I can't disagree with you because I don't know it. I don't know the opposite. You know what I'm saying? So, man, that's gonna bother me now. Aunt, damn it.
Sorry.
Me and my conformity ways. Let's get to it. Yeezy, how you do it, huh? It's my birthday. I deserve to be greedy, huh? She holding out. She ain't giving to the needy, huh? You go downstairs and fall asleep with the TV on. Y'all been together 10 years. You deserve a menage. Especially if you put that BMW in the garage. Especially if you paid a couple of payments on a mama crib. Went to a niece's graduation, man. I hate those kids. Last birthday, she got you a new sweater. Put it on, give her a kiss, and tell her do better. She said, how about I get you jewelry from the West End? How about you just hit the West End and get her best friend? Ha, I'm joking. I'm serious. I asked her, don't be acting like no actress. If we preaching, then we practice. Don't be reaching, don't be touching shit. We in Kanye West's Benz. Because I will turn you back to a pedestrian. Hey, welcome to it. It's episode 538 and our 11th birthday.
Oh.
And of course, there won't be any political polling popping presently. I'm your host, Entertainer 713. Joined as always by my best friends, the 216's own Tatum.
Man, sometimes you can't go back to the river. And I'll explain why in a little bit.
And at 8 bars, he'll explain that line. And of course, it's the big homie Lunchbox, 2099.
Just stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to.
But what if I want to go chase a waterfall or two?
I'm really enjoying the phone sex operator look you got going on, Lunch.
disheveled because you know it's good.
Yeah.
Because that's how much work I'm putting in.
On this very date, 11 years ago, we sat in that room. To the point again, that room. Around a circle table that I no longer have. On chairs or couches that I no longer have. And with a co-host that's no longer here. And made the first episode of this show. And I know we just did a whole rigmarole a year ago celebrating our birthday and all that good stuff. But hey, every week is somebody's new first time listening. So I love sharing with y'all the story of us. Stays Crunchy Milk was dreamed up during the beginning of the podcast game, early in the podcast game, not the beginning, because that's way early. When we all were at the same gig together, we all, had some podcasts we messed around with at that point in time. And it made sense to Ant. He's like, yo, we should do a podcast. And I'm like, yeah, we should do a podcast. And then he's just like, what we gonna name it? And Ant just whip out his hat, Stays Crunchy Milk, which if you are a child of the 70s like I am, and means you came up in the 80s, that was Captain Crunch's swag. Stays Crunchy in Milk. And it immediately just affected my brain. It's like, yes, 1000% yes. So then I have to go present that to the rest of the folk that we are talking about podcasts with, which is, of course, Box and our buddy Adam. And Adam was like, oh yeah, I fuck with that. But you gotta spell Crunchy with a K so it abbreviates to SKiM. And I was like, done and done. And Stays Crunchy Milk as an ideal existed. Didn't do anything with it for a little bit. And then Box come out with us and like, I bought a podcast back. I started a wrestling show. The dearly belated Paper Champion podcast.
Yes.
And like,
and
this
sports.
We just said we was gonna start a show, but we wouldn't. We had not, and at that point, we probably do Box for like a year. So it's okay for Box to have been like, fuck that. I ain't waiting on these motherfuckers. I can do my own goddamn thing. But it forced the hand. It's like, okay, let's stop talking about it. Let's go ahead and be about it. And so Box came through with the little snowflake mic that he might be using like right now.
Snowball mic.
No. I'm using the tablet, but the snowball is right here.
Yeah. See. The ball is what you use. That's the flake. That's the little guy.
Oh man.
Yeah. And
I still got him right here.
One day when they put us in the Cleveland Podcast Hall of Fame that doesn't exist, that maybe we'll invent. That's going to be on display right there. And we spit fire. We made a podcast, and it was we made two podcasts actually. We did a pilot 0 that was just to kind of get a compatibility test, kind of get us flowing and see how we could do. And then Ant was just, and I say Ant because I'm not saying that everybody else wasn't excited, but Ant was excited to like, let's go again. So it's like, all right, man, I guess. Because again, you just saw it. I told you I'm not social. But that's my man's. And I am agreeable if it's nothing else. So like, all right, let's do it. That was episode 1 of this very show. And
And that's how we did it for a while too. We used to do 2 in a row.
2 days.
We used to do back to back. I know, old listeners probably be like, oh, but we used to have an official pizza of the podcast, the Dominic that came from Pizza Hut. It was it extra large cheese with
it was a
Alfredo
stuffed crust, cheese,
okay.
Alfredo.
Stuffed crust with extra cheese and white sauce. Too much. Far too much.
I mean, we were far younger men back then.
But it came about. We started the show shortly after my divorce, and if I'm mathing, probably actually maybe about a month before I officially was on paper divorced, and so it was kind of at a real turning point in my existence, and it of course has been necessary in that part of my life as well. because at least in most situations, it's not that we don't talk no more. It's just we don't work in the same building anymore. We don't work in a building anymore. And so we don't get to see each other as often as we do. But mostly a good couple of times through any given month, I get to see my best friends. Truly my best friends, not no bullshit, not no jokes or games. I don't say that loosely. I say that as if you looked at my phone, it's what they're listed as. These are my best friends. You know what I'm saying? They mean the world to me. They're important to me. And so I get to see them and get caught up on some of their life and so forth. And I love it. I am we're not the biggest podcast in the world, but we are Cleveland's longest running podcast. I'll tell you that. Anybody who fucks with us the long and the short way because they know what we do is pretty dope. And of course, we ride for each other, we fuck with each other, and I love it. I absolutely love this shit, and I eat it up. And so that's why we, after all these years, we still do it. Now, look, what I have come to terms with is every now and again, we're just taking the night off, and we won't have a show that next week. Because sometimes I just need a night off, y'all. And it used to be I wouldn't dare. I didn't take my kid's mom died, and I didn't take that Sunday off. People was like, "That's so weird," but I needed my boys at that point in time. It might have been weird to some, but y'all didn't understand it was necessary for me to push just a little further down the road because it was bad. So I needed them that week. You know what I'm saying? And here they were at my house. I remember Gabe's wife was upset by the idea of us putting that show out.
Mm.
And he even asked, "You're not gonna put that out?" I'm like, "Of course I'm gonna put it out because we have shared with y'all what we care to share with y'all, our lives. You don't get a full brunt and a full, everything, but you do get some of it. And so when important people have left us, we've shared that with you. When important people have come into our lives, we've shared that with you as well. And it's been just such a fascinating and fun, in my opinion, journey. Because through the best of it, through the worst of it, it's us doing the damn thing, and I really fuck with that. And I just do. People, I don't talk about the show to coworkers. I have different coworkers now, and so I can't share that with them. I had a coworker tell me very recently in a meeting, "Man, T, you should do a podcast." And I just, that'd be neat, wouldn't it? And I just had to kind of chuckle that one off, like, yeah, I could, couldn't I? But I kind of keep that a little close to my chest. It's people who do know, but it's like it's not everybody who know because it's personal, it's private, it's a part of my life and our world that though yes I do share a lot. It's oddly enough only meant for these two gentlemen and for you, the listener, but not for just everybody. And I know that seems so weird. You're like, well, don't you want more people? Sure, I'd love to be a super popular podcast of certain heights and ilks, but also, I'm sure that comes with its own bullshit, So
Yeah, it's kind of funny, like the stage I am in life, where it's like there's like I don't really have anybody else to be like, "Oh yeah, I got a podcast." Like it's nobody I really talk to to be like, you know, to share like new events in my life besides y'all. Like when something happened, I either heard it from you two or my partner, or maybe my mom, maybe my mom. Like, oh, somebody told me it was a new something somewhere. I'm like, well, if it's this, then I probably got it from lunch. If it's this, I probably got it from tea. If it's that, I probably got it from a girl. So, I know like maybe it'll change soon, but my life is so in this little square peg right now that you know it's kind of different. But man, this show has been like such a good part of like being able to stay connected with you guys, but also like you know Because it's not like we talk about like dirty stuff that couldn't be shared with other people. It's like, man, I was hitting it from the back. Well, we don't really have that kind of talk and stuff like that. We get a little rowdy sometimes, but it's all in good fun. It's nothing that pokes fun at people. Nothing that makes, I would think, make too many people uncomfortable. Like I know
I
sometimes
feel
my
like
mom.
it's been. I feel like it's been a while since we talked about penis.
Yeah, like I don't feel like I have a show that I'm not really uncomfortable with my mom listening to. Like sometimes I'll say something, but like I mean I'm an adult and I don't say nothing too disrespectful. So I've been really trying to not to try. I've been trying not to cuss. Period. And I see it's working because I've been saying "oh fudge" a lot lately, and then the boys like, "oh, what happened?" So I'm trying to. I don't know. I don't think it makes me a bad person to cuss, but I'm trying to cuss less. And yeah, we don't really say we. I guess we had a good period of time where we talked about dicks every day, every episode of the podcast. But like, I love that tea. I was just thinking about this when I was speaking of being alone. I was alone in the kitchen chopping up vegetables, and I was thinking like, I really like that your mom listens to you. Like because most of the time when your mom's in town, like I love sitting on the couch is like her being in the other room listening and like it's always been fun and like just that's what sits in the back of my mind. I can just see her sitting in the chair and listening to a podcast. Like I'm sorry, not a podcast, our podcast.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know some stuff I got to get out, but for the most part, like I love that that's part of it. Like every once in a while, your brother got something to say about our show. Man, because like we've been doing this for a long time, and I know I still got friends that don't listen. I know we still have friends that don't share it. We still have friends that like, because I know like one of my friends like, man, when we did a pod called Cast a lot, like he was like, I listen to every single episode of that. But it means sometimes podcasts ain't a person's thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I was shocked recently when a buddy of mine told me he listens to this because I had no idea.
I like that bit of surprise.
I was like, really? I was like, still? And he goes, yeah. So he goes, I don't like get it every week. He goes, but I listen. I was like, oh shit, okay.
Every now and again, Nick, you hit me up, me and or us individually or us together, and say she fucked with something we did, and I'm like, that's dope. Because I listen to Nick Jew as often as she does a show, and it's been 2 weeks straight of What's the Tea Bang Out. Good job, Nick. Fuck with it. And so it has been 2 weeks straight for them. So Reggie's schedule has gotten so complicated that they can't do the show as often as they used to. But whenever it's up, it's like the first thing I'm listening to that day if I see it. It showed up in my Downcast app, but didn't show up on Spotify. And I was like, the fuck? And I go, did I just not take care of the episode on Downcast? I go, no, that shit say yesterday. It's a new damn What's the Tea up, and I didn't get it on. I didn't listen to it on Tuesday. It's upsetting. It did make my Wednesday better though. Thank you.
Doing this show too is like made me feel like we've like become connected to like famous people because
We are
like
connected to
I
famous people.
I know, but like it's weird like being like that and like just it being like a fantasy of sorts because like I tweeted at Rod today like it was nothing. Just like, yeah, I'm tweeting at Rod because I know that, like, he is in the, like, him and his wife are into the Hornets because I see him tweet about him all the time. And I had a legitimate question to, like, ask him. And it's like, he could have ignored me, but, like, he didn't, and, like, we had a little dialogue going. And I was like, I've actually spoken to this man a couple times. And, like, I appreciate the fact that he was, like, actually engaging me. Because, like, to me, he's famous. Like, he didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, by the time you hear this episode, it will have happened, but you won't have heard it until the day after this episode comes out. we got reached out to by one of the bakers on the upcoming season of the Great American Baking Show. He's like, "Hey, I see this is a 216 number and you guys rep Ohio. Can I be on you guys' show?" And I'm like, sir, one, didn't believe it at first. I was like, somebody fucking with us, right? And I showed it to, I sent it to Nick and Ant, and I was like, they fuck with us, right? And they was like, no, just reach out to us, see what happens. Because either it's a great story about how we got fucked with by somebody pretending to be on the Great American Baking Show, or this motherfucker's from the Great American Baking Show, and and you'll have him on as a guest. And I get to interview one of the bakers from that show. Me and Ant will do it. It happens we have to do it on Nick's birthday, and she has plans. That puts me one heartbeat, one measly step away from Paul Hollywood, Prue Leith, Zach Cherry, the tent that I love so much, and it's the podcast game that has done it. Carl Tart, I truly consider the homie.
Yeah.
Not just I know that famous guy or whatever. And I'm always proud of, but I'm always proud of, and I'm proud of the work he does. But first and foremost, I'm like, oh damn, man, the Clippers lost, and I feel bad for him. And I'm sure he'd do the same for us if, you know what I'm saying, the Cavs lost or something like that there. You know what I'm saying? They announced today that the NCAA football is coming out next month. And I immediately go into the first person I tell is Carl, because I know how much he fucks with NCAA football and how he's excited for this game, but also not, because he thinks it's going to be Madden, because we all know what the hell is. It's just going to be last year's Madden with NCAA paint on it, but still. We'll see. Who knows? Maybe they'll be better. But again, first person I tell is my man Carl. So it's not that we are we know famous people, man. And it's not on some old whatever, oh, I know famous, and we're not bragging about it. What I'm saying is podcast makes the world smaller a little bit, you know?
I kind of feel like we through our shyness, we still we could reach out to more people.
We should reach out to more people. Again, but I'm not social. I'm not.
Because I still feel like I know Carl knows who I am, but when I was in Boston, I know I could have been like, hey man, you want to have a drink or something like that, but I didn't do it. I was just like, I still felt very shy. Yeah. But every time it's some Air Force Ones are popping up new, I know who I hit up. Like, you see these Air Force Ones, Carl?
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's like I was watching Hacks today, and the sentiment was like, you know, youth is wasted on the youth is wasted on the young. Like, I don't know if we should just, go balls out on this anniversary. Like, man, we're gonna do this. We're gonna try to make this, or it's like, I do like where we are. Like, I'm not interested in I don't feel like it should be a more expensive hobby than it is. Because, I mean, to be honest, I always feel like I feel bad that T got this bitch in the chokehold the way he got it. Like, I feel like maybe I should learn how to edit a show or do something. But I know this is his baby. Like, yeah, we stirred our sperm in the bucket, but we never won.
It was a train ran, and he came out the conductor.
Oh my god! Unexpectedly, I think, but also I don't know. It made sense when it made sense, and we just kind of stuck to it because, again, creature of habit. I'm telling you, man, some of this horoscope shit. Just saying. It is it's a pleasure. It is an honor. I am so grateful to still be present doing it. It is rare that I've even come close to saying fuck this shit. And as usually, like I said, that tells me whenever I get the rare times I do get a little, I don't know, it's like, just take the week off, man, baby. See, you good. Have a week. Don't record that week and tuck it away and stack it up for next time. And that's perfectly fine and that's perfectly pleasant. We've not lost anything because of it. We've not gained anything more for it. It's just a good time. And again,
Gain some sanity.
Yeah. If anything, we gained a little bit of sanity. It gives us time to, if maybe we didn't have a story that week and you just whatever, you know what I'm saying? I don't have a story this week, but I did know that I wanted to discuss our birthday because it's our birthday. And I should look on Twitter because oftentimes, like everything on this show aligns with this day, including the day I think I made the Twitter account for this this very podcast. You just switch over right quick because it'll have our little birthday tag up. It'll be like, you've been on this site for 11 years. Let's go to notifications. And right there at the top, it says, it's your X anniversary. I will, of course, change that to Twitter. Celebrate by creating a special post just for you. Oh, I like that 11. That's nice. That's fancy. Let's celebrate with a post, and it's going to change the word X to Twitter. Because fuck that noise. We're doing it live, people. Man, I can't spell for shit. It's Stays Crunchy Milk's 11th birthday, like right now. Thanks for listening and supporting. And then, of course, the hashtag is my Twitter birthday. And then we'll post that. And I don't even for the time being, pin it to the profile. I just had my actual Twitter birthday probably maybe a week or two ago. And I've been on Twitter 15 damn years.
What's crazy is I remember I had a different Twitter and it was Optimus Prime.
I recall.
And I was like, I feel bad that I got rid of that one because I would have been right there with you. And that name's way cooler than my name now.
Oh shit! Marijuana is classified. So we've reclassified, or we're working on reclassifying marijuana from Schedule 1 drug down to, I believe, Schedule 3. And Vice President Harris says no one should go to jail for smoking weed. We have pardoned tens of thousands of people with federal convictions for simple marijuana possession. And I know there are a bunch of people going to be like, Kamala the cop, because that's all they ever want to say about her, because she used to be a DA and an attorney general. But it all good, man. I know to the contrary, and I don't know. Anyway, I'm like, again, I said no politics this week. No politics. But it's our birthday. We do the do, and I absolutely love it. And again, I thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, listeners. We certainly could not have done without you. And I love it.
True.
And I love you guys for it. And we soldier forth. You know, we went to DC on our second birthday, unintentionally. We were gonna drive to, because it was dumb and I have dumb ideas, and these motherfuckers just be my fucking enablers. And I was like, let's drive to our second most popular download destination, which was somewhere in Maryland, Hagerstown, Maryland. Hagerstown, Maryland. And we were just gonna drive to Hagerstown, Maryland, and I think we're gonna eat at a restaurant down there and turn around and come home. But once you get to Hagerstown, Maryland, DC is just a fucking hair's breadth away. And we're like,
we never been
right
to DC.
there.
Well, I've never been to DC at that point.
Man, what murders? So we went ahead and drove down the road.
He's the best guy around.
And I got to walk around DC with my tight likes. And me and Box have been to DC for the second inauguration of Barack Obama, and so he and I had already had a little bit of DC under our belt. But like Ant just said, he had not been, and so he got to kick it with us in DC and walk around the National Mall and bullshit and BS, and it's a delight.
Go to Ted's Bulletin.
I talk about it to this day to anybody who asks. Anybody who says they're
Yeah.
going to DC, I say you should hit up Ted's Bulletin.
Yeah. It was
People I know who live in DC, I'm like, have you been to Ted's Bulletin? It's like,
I still remember those homemade Pop-Tarts.
yeah, man.
That was a great night, man. I know I still feel bad that like I fell asleep and I when lunch was driving back, and like I don't know if I don't remember if I was holding his phone or the cord had got underneath my butt from for the aux cord.
Yeah.
And then I woke up and I was like, oh man, I'm so sorry, lunch. But yeah, that was we didn't fail to how does it go? We didn't plan to fail, we just failed to plan.
Yeah. But it also set terms for us going forward. We were like,
yeah,
never again if we travel are we not staying the night if we travel a certain distance. And we haven't. We have held that down. We were like, if we going somewhere, we're gonna stay there overnight at least.
Then we went to Detroit, which was another great time because man, remember what was behind the picture? A weed pipe or something? What was behind it?
It was indeed a bit of kit for smoking wax.
Oh, okay.
If you smoke a certain type of weed, and it was weird that it was behind a wicker bull's head.
And I like first I was like, Gabe had took it down. I was like, man, don't be fucking with that thing. And then he seen it behind there. Because I was thinking, oh, I remember why. Because he was thinking there was a camera behind there.
Yeah, he wanted to double check.
Yeah, he went to go see if it was a camera behind there. And behind there was a weed pipe. So that was crazy. We spent the night in Chicago when we met up with Toffee. Yeah. Got that Pequod's pizza, which was pretty great.
Maybe we should do something soon since we'll be on lockdown here shortly.
Yeah.
In light of recent events.
For sure. We'll figure it out. But you ain't a rookie no more. So
yeah, I don't really think it's I don't think it's a big deal. But like I do want to I don't want to force suggest a place, but I do want to go to Philly. But like I'm always down for the ride.
Same. Yeah, bro. Yeah, just I would say
we can discuss off air.
Yeah. We'll do just that. It's all to the good. But there you go, people. Happy birthday to us. Happy birthday to you. Thanks for listening. If it's your first time listening, tell us how you got down with the Get Down. If it's like near your first time listening, second or third time you got down, same difference. You know what I'm saying? Kick it with us. Let us know how you got down and why you get down with the Get Down, and if you plan to continue forth. And
let us know if you would subscribe to our OnlyFans.
Box been trying to get these toes on, man. I'm saying, just let it go, man.
See, that's the thing. Live. OnlyFans doesn't have to necessarily just be nudes. It could be like our version of Patreon. That's what it initially started out as. It didn't just start out as titties; it became titties.
Anyway, let Box show you his toes. Come on, be real with me. But I'm gonna hand the reins of this show over to the homie Big Ant. First up, as always, is Tatum. Ant, man, what's good?
Man, a lot of different stuff. But in particular, I thought about something, and I've been wanting to talk to you guys about this for like 2 weeks now, maybe 3. But I was on TikTok, and it's this one guy that I follow was like, man, those Dairy Queen got the cherry dipped ice cream again. And I'm like, for real? I remember like that from when I was a little kid, and I was just like, I gotta have this shit. I gotta have it.
They
I
only
mean,
got rid
yes,
of it last year.
really.
Yeah,
So they
yeah,
got
because
rid of it
Vanessa was
1 year and it
super.
came back. Okay.
Vanessa was so sad about it. That's her jam. Go on.
So I went. I was what city was I in? I think I was in Twinsburg. No, I don't remember what city I was in, but I seen the Dairy Queen. I had space and opportunity. So this was the omen. I go in and I was like, "Hey, can I have a cherry dipped and a sugar cone?" And she was like, "We only sell cake cones here." I was like, "Shit." Right when that happened, I was like, I should have turned my black ass around and got back into my car because cake cones fucking suck. I hate the way they smell. I don't like the consistency of them. Like cake cones, I don't even know why they call them cake cones. They should be called styrofoam ice cream holders because they're not good. So I'm like, fuck it. Get this cake cone. Like this lady is taking forever to make my fucking ice cream. And I get it. I pay the price, and it is fucking gross. I'm like, what was I thinking, nigga? What you doing? It was so bad, man. And I just remember like having such fond memories of it as a child. Like I remember it being red, and I remember the smell of it. The smell was similar, but the taste definitely wasn't. And I don't know if it's like on me, was like my taste have changed and all that stuff and expanded. But it was so bad, man. Like I took a bite and straight up threw it in the trash, like right afterwards. Like I did
Whoa.
not finish it. Um, and it was just like I get like borderline obsessed about like, oh man, I want to try this, or I remember having this and I want to try this again. Or while I'm, in this city, I've got to make sure I get this type of food. And man, like it's just been a big letdown lately. I have like had nothing good that I put like on a pedestal for my past. Or like the state of food right now has just been really depressing to me. Like Qdoba came back. It's a Qdoba near me. I went in and like I ate it and I didn't even finish the bowl. My partner was like, hey, how was that Qdoba? I was like, so bad. It was so bad that I didn't finish it. And like I paid money for that. Like I'm not like super frugal and super cheap, but I'm conscious enough to be like, I paid for it, I might as well finish it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, nah, that shit went straight in the trash, just like that ice cream cone. And I felt like for years, like Qdoba's chicken was way better than Chipotle's. And I remember my go-to, I used to just eat for dinner sometimes chips and guac from Qdoba. Just that. That would be my dinner, and I would be satisfied, and kicking my feet in the bed because I was so fucking happy, like yoo. And like I was so disappointed, man. But have you guys had something that you built up in your head, like food wise, lately? And when you had, you was just like, all right, man, good game, McDonald's apple pies, good game.
It happened literally tonight.
Oh no.
My buddy was getting Charlie's, like the cheese steak place,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, "Oh man, can you grab me something?" Because I knew I was doing this, and I was playing Call of Duty beforehand, so I didn't really like have time to like go out and get anything or whatever. And we didn't have anything really prepped because we ate like the leftovers earlier today from yesterday. And I was like, only look at the menu online. So I was looking at the menu and I was like, oh man, their original cheesesteak looks fucking delicious. I'm like, I'll get it with extra steak and onions. And then like he grabbed it for me and dropped it off down here earlier. And like the steak was so dry. There was
Mm.
barely any onions on that bitch. The cheese looked kind of like it was like Cheese Whiz, but like it didn't look like the same color necessarily. and like it was fine. Like the cheese whiz kind of made it like feel moist, but that steak was dry.
I feel that the post pandemic, whatever, however you look at it, I know the pandemic still exists, but we are, a post pandemic world has proven out that like a bunch of stuff that I haven't gotten since the beginning of the pandemic ain't hitting like it used to. A bunch of stuff is way smaller and or it's not filled the same way. You feel me? You know what I'm saying, or whatever. And I just think, it's just been these. They keep trying to say it's inflation, like, but it's not inflation. Everything mathematically is saying this is not inflation. This is just companies trying to make more money off of us. That's different than inflation.
They're using their dick to brush our teeth with.
Pretty fucking much. And so it's that. I think that's where stuff like, yo, this is whack. Yo, this is garbage, bro. I'm not paying $1 for oatmeal pie from a Little Debbie oatmeal pie. I'm simply not. For what I used to pay a quarter for.
Yeah, like some stuff. I'll pay the oatmeal pie. I probably wouldn't, because I like honey buns are like $1.09 now from Little Debbie. They too much. I ain't gonna say the price. I ain't gonna like just throw that out there, but I know they're more expensive.
Yeah.
But like it's some stuff is like, oh, I'll give it a try. But like, man, I want some Chipotle cheddar Gardetto so bad. But I'm afraid that if I hunt some down, that they gonna be trash. So I mean, it's been some stuff.
Go on. I'm sorry.
No, it's been some stuff that like I found some caramel dittos.
Yeah.
And I was just like, they tasted the same. They were fine. They weren't too much money. But it's just been other stuff like it's just they skimping on ingredients and products everywhere for almost everything, and stuff just don't taste the same no more.
I was about to say Vanessa loved Lunchables pizzas of all things. Just reminded her of childhood, and she when they would go on sale, she'd snack some. She had gotten some in recent history and was like, "These don't taste right. They didn't change something." Went and looked it up. Indeed, they had changed they changed their the cheese formulation, and it just don't taste right there. That's another thing. Like I said, to save money but charge us the same, and in some cases more. They've changed their formulas on things. I saw a TikTok the other day explaining how stuff will be the same size, but you're getting less because that means they changed something. It'll be like, oh yeah, this is higher in calorie density, but it's less in the package. How is that possible? It's like they changed something. Something got tweaked in some way, shape, or form that leads to what you experience. I'm saying I'm sad that Qdoba ain't doing what it did for you. I have no relationship with Qdoba. So a long time when I had Qdoba, we were in Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh last year. I was like, it's just kind of hitting to me, but I don't know it. I don't know it enough to be like upset or whatever about it. So, yeah,
Maybe I need to give them another try. But
well, I mean, they're new, right? I mean, it's Qdoba, but that just opened, right?
Yeah, it just opened. I think that was like that. But usually that Monday is when they running on all cylinders. They got enough people. But like maybe they just need to forget about the chicken on the grill for 5 minutes. And when you're brand new, you don't do
that. I'm sad. I actually, when I was going, you're like, oh, it's a lot of good stuff, and you're like, but fuck this chicken. But I understand that though. It's real. When you had your mouth all ready for hash, and then what you get instead is this bullshit. I get it.
Yeah, because when it comes to food, I'm never indecisive. Yeah. Like, I know usually exactly what I want. So, like, going to a place and they not having it fucks everything up. Like, I went to Chipotle, and I was like, I wanted soft tacos, which I know that's something nobody really gets. But I was like, she's like, oh, we out of sour cream. I was like, okay, good night. I don't want it's the whole thing or nothing. I'm not interested in you giving me parts of it because I work hard enough for my money to be like, you know what, homie, Like if you don't got sour cream, if you don't got corn, it ain't the meal.
You saw, I know you seen Keith Lee's video about Chipotle. He's like, yeah, I hear they on some nonsense. Let me see. And he's like, oh God, this is terrible. It's lacking in all directions. And it's again, like I said, these companies is like, I'm a fuck y'all. And I think we find her like, no, you not. So
Yeah, because I know one of the big things they're talking about right now is they're closing up Chili's and Red Lobsters, and
totally false. I sent y'all a video about that.
oh, it's not
Fake
real.
news.
Oh,
Oh man,
but
thank the
okay, so
stars.
that part might be fake news, but what's not is like you go to a Red Lobster now, and them Cheddar Bay biscuits ain't banned. Like they used to be one of the best things, like across the board. Like you talk about, you get bread from a restaurant. Cheddar Bay biscuits is one of those things you talk about first. You might talk about the brown or the white bread when you go to Cheesecake Factory, but Cheddar Bay biscuits used to be really really great. And like they make them smaller and less cheesy and less garlicky and less buttery. It ain't what I want.
And like, do they think we don't notice? Are they? Hey Drake, they're not dumb. Okay, it's like, come on, man. It's like we fully are can recognize that y'all playing us, and it's like, I don't know, man. I it's bothersome. I'll just go with that. It's
Yeah.
bothersome and it's bothering me.
Yeah, that like I said, that ice cream cone wasn't hitting the way it's supposed to. I mean, if I could go back and tell 7-year-old Anthony, like, hey man, enjoy that ice cream cone. Cause it ain't gonna be the same.
Because at some point, your palate is gonna arrive and be like, no sir. I just wonder if adult Anthony just ain't trying to fuck with Red 40 like that.
I guess not. Like, I don't know, like me and my partner talk about that all the time, like Red 40. I'm like, man, I'm already pickled, man. Like
Oh, for sure. I ain't nothing. I've been here too long. I
yeah.
get it.
Like, sometimes I try to avoid it, like so I'm doing like a special program tomorrow for work where I'm going to be at a school. So I
Oh,
stopped.
my boss is doing that program.
Yeah, she was my partner last year, which I'm
Oh,
sad she's not my partner.
her partner is not going to be with her, and she got to do it by herself this year. I wish y'all could have bumped heads.
Okay, you might want. Okay, I'll say it a way where you don't got to cut it out. So I think, like, so the dude who doing this program is from Africa, but he's not African. Like, he's not a POC. And like, I remember he made the joke, I'm African American. I was like, man, I don't fuck with this dude. So I feel like when we met during the chinchilla event a couple months back,
Yeah.
I talked about, and I felt like he matched me with somebody named Aisha because he knows I was black. Because before, like, I was just like, because that's just the vibe I got from dude.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's probably why he did that. And I mean, it's cool to be with another person and meet with another person from another site. I'm fine with that. But like, I mean, I had a partner that I knew well, and like, man, she's able to do things like that the partner I have can't do. But that's a whole nother thing. Well, anyway, to make a long story short, I was getting snacks for that for that event. Like I got some Capri Suns, and then I was looking at some fruit snacks and stuff, and they got like all these different expensive versions of like fruit roll-ups and stuff. But I look at fruit roll-ups, and fruit roll-ups like the had no artificial flavoring. They only had like 10 more calories than all like the other ones, and they're made with real fruit, so they have just as much fiber and stuff. I was like, I'm not going to pay 19 for this. When fruit roll-ups to do. I mean, don't eat 7 of them. I mean, but Yeah, like certain stuff they just try to pull the wool over your eyes. Read what you can, do what you can.
Yeah. Goodness me. That was Saturday and need to be at.
Oh shit, sorry.
It's all good. I'm fucking with you. Dan, brother, I ain't got to holler at you in a little bit, man. What is going on in your world? How about a little story time with Lunchbox?
Man, I wish I had something fancy for you. But the thing is, I watched that X-Men episode last night, and now I just want more X-Men.
Swear for God. And normally, of course, this will go in our entertainment section, but it's important enough that I have to tell y'all how good that damn series of X-Men 97 has been and how disconcerting it is to know that the man who made that will not be there for the third season. He has written, he did write the second season, so we should have at least another season that was just as good as this first one, but not our third one. It's sad. It's fucked
Man,
up.
like, did he like hurt somebody? Did he like assault? Like,
So
did he pull his pee out? Like,
so
no, forgive and forget,
wiener.
baby.
Everybody seems to be like he just is a shitty coworker. And sometimes that's good enough for the House of Mouse to be like, well, I can't bang with you, man. If everybody's like you yelling and acting a fucking fool, then I can't fuck with you. And then somebody was like, it's because he got an OnlyFans. They like, everybody knows he has an OnlyFans. It's a PG-13 OnlyFans. He been had it. Everybody knows about it. That's not why he got knocked. But he definitely, everybody says, they say it's the same reason he got fired from The Witcher. He's just not an agreeable, happy-go-lucky dude. But this motherfucker can write his ass off. Can write his ass. Y'all, some of y'all are thinking, I'm sick of Marvel. I have superhero fatigue or whatever. This is the best Marvel anything since Endgame. Hands down. And I'm not a hater. Hater is not the right term. I don't dislike all the stuff that has come since Endgame like a lot of people do. I like the weirdest of things. I go up for Eternals, and most people are like, ugh. But this X-Men, it was far, 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 far a greater thing than you ever would have thought was going to come out. It just definitely weaved various comic book stories together into things that you couldn't like. These didn't go together in the comics, but they work so good and together in this show. And how they have moved in here and there and in and out has been so good. And the way it wrapped up is I'm just going spoilers. I'm going to talk my talk, and if you haven't watched it yet, maybe you should. The real ODP is caught up on this show. You know how far behind he usually is on properties like this, stuff like this there? Because he leads a busy life and is out there on the road. He's up to date and fully on this show. That's how trill this is. So this show ends. This episode ends flinging the X-Men to different times. A couple of them end up in the future where they get to meet their young son, who they sent to the future to be healthy and healed. That's a big story from Cable's comic books. When he got to meet Red and Slim, that's they didn't get to tell them they were his parents because it was just their minds flowing into bodies that looked like them or something like that in the comics. But in this case, it's actually them.
So the cool thing too about like watching YouTube breakdowns from like the new media sites.
Yeah.
Like I watch New Rockstars for a lot of this stuff. So I watched their breakdown of this today. Apparently, the person in that tribe that was leading that tribe where they meet the Nathan is also their daughter.
Fucking hell, bro! Like shit like that is amazing. So wildly excited for where this story could go. In the last few episodes, we gotten some cameos: Spider-Man, Doctor Doom, Silver Samurai, Omega Red. Psylocke was in this episode this week. Actually, Psylocke and not Morph turning into Psylocke. I know it should matter, but it does. if you looked in the background on that boat where he's looking at Rogue and not his children, it is Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, and Polaris on that boat back there, which is all Magneto's kids. It's T'Chaka, King T'Chaka, not T'Challa. It's Mary Jane and Peter Parker at one point. Daredevil fucking sliding.
And Flash Thompson was in there.
Ooh, Venom, right? No.
Flash Thompson, he became Agent Venom, but
Okay,
Flash
I'm like,
Thompson's
no, he
the one
was
that went to school with. Because he walked by, he was in his Letterman jacket.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See? So, Venom was Eddie Brock, photographer, another photographer or reporter from the Daily Bugle, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you get all of that, but you get these brilliant bits of writing, and oh man, Professor X is in Magneto's head, talking to him, and he's like, "But that's not the name you chose. The name you chose was important because you knew you wanted to." And all of a sudden, he just like get it all together, rises up. Magneto lives in the third person because my man he ain't playing around, and it is actually an absolutely wonderful 10 weeks, week to week. I'm normally a dude who's like, I wouldn't mind if all these were available, but I love getting these once a week and then having a whole week to look at all these people review it or break it down and stuff like that there and have conversations about it and just talk about, yo, have you seen X-Men this week? What'd you think? And so forth and so on. I enjoy that, which is why I'm upset that the Bear, when the Bear comes out next month, they dropping them all at once. Because it won't have that week to week. People just sup everything all up at once. You know what I'm saying? Fallout had basically a week of discussion, and that was it. Because they put all the episodes out at once. Because they think that's what they need to do. And it's like, no. The Netflix model works for Netflix for a reason. Not everybody else has to do that, man. I like a little bit of water cooler programming. I like what Apple TV does with all their shows and stuff like that. I like just having a little bit. I also like building up an episode or two for some shows. You know what I'm saying? I don't need them all at once, just a couple. And just, oh my god, bro, it was so good. Like the weakest episode would be the Jubilee / Storm episode, and it's not even that bad because what that ends up doing is you get a little preview of Jubilee's powers that she used in this episode. You got a little bit of Storm story. What that was just a little sneak. I think that was just a little bit. Let me give you some nostalgia, Saturday morning style, because that's what it used to be. You know, you get a couple episodes or an episode that just had two stories in it on your Saturday morning. That was a Saturday morning. Or was that a Sunday on Fox morning situation? Was that Fox Sunday or was that Saturday?
Saturday.
Yeah,
Saturday.
Okay.
It was definitely the episode though that I liked the least.
Well, everybody, there's nobody who would disagree with you. Everybody says that. You know, we all get that episode was sticks out. You know, So it's such a good show, y'all. And
I binge watched the whole show Saturday. So I was hanging out with my buddy, and he was on episode 1.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wanted to talk to him so badly about last week's episode because last week's episode, I was like, holy shit, I couldn't believe they went there.
Yeah.
But I couldn't say what they did because he hadn't seen it. And so like when we went back to his condo, we ended up like watching episodes 2 through 9.
Nice. Bruh. Again, like I said, it's all these stories that they weave throughout this. They've done the Genosha storyline. They've done which is E for Extinction, which actually was Xavier's sister, not really a sister. There's some things going on there, but who was the bad guy in that storyline? She's going to be the bad guy.
His sister's coming in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, in Deadpool 3. So you'll get some of that here sooner than later. But you got Fatal Attraction, which is what happened last week when Magneto snatches Wolverine's adamantium skeleton out of him, and it was. Even the comic couldn't do it the justice it did this because the comics authority didn't let you show blood like that. It just only let you show like black spots. So you'd be like, oh, that's blood, but it wasn't red. But on this shit, it was red, and Wolverine was real fucked up. And again, you got this weaving of cable stories and so forth and so on. This week at the end of the episode, because some people were flung into the future, some X-Men were flung into the past. And who do you meet but the first mutant in Sabanur? Y'all might know him as Apocalypse. And I'm like, whoa, where that's gonna go. Then I get a post credit that I didn't even know was there until I was watching Kind of Funny. It was like in that post credit, I'm like, what? And so I tell Vanessa, I'm like, yo, there's a post credit we got to watch. And so she comes downstairs last night after work, and I'm like, I'm like, oh, sweet. It didn't actually, it left us right there at the credit. So we just had to push play and watch the little post credit, which shows a full, grown, or, I guess X amount of years later, Apocalypse on present day Genosha. And in his hand, as he sifts through the dirt, is one of Gambit's cards. What does that mean? Does that mean we can figure out how to get Gambit back? I don't know, but exciting
The
times.
rumor is he's going to resurrect Gambit as his rider of death.
One of his horsemen, the 4 horsemen of the
Yes.
apocalypse. So, man, it's great. So we'll get the Red and Slim story from Cable, where basically Scott and Jean raised Cable, taught him how to use his mutant powers, how to control his mutant powers, and become Cable, which is crazy when you think about that. Bishop got to meet Forge in this episode, and Bishop and Forge are super tight in the comic books because that's how they get through time, because Forge invents things, and that's like, yeah, I'm with it. I'm so with it, and I don't think it's coming back till like winter next year. It's so far away, but I'm very, 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 very excited for it, man. Box, I'm with you on that one, bro. Like, please give us more. I hope I hope this next season has more episodes. That's also something I don't like about the streaming time we live in. It's like this whole I'll give you 10, sometimes 8, and sometimes 12. But bro, I used to get 22, 25 under good times. I needs that, baby. Come on. Shoot it in my veins. Oh my God. What's the show that y'all love, that y'all would give me all of that and not just a little bit of that?
I guess right now Hacks. I really like that show on Max.
How many does it get per season? This is his 3rd season?
It's his 3rd season, usually around 8, something like that.
Yeah, that's not enough. It's weird.
I like Abbott, but they do get more episodes.
Yeah, they get. Well, they're not going to get their full 22 this season because of the strike season, but they get a full half. So that's lovely, and I bang with that.
Yeah, but I feel like they've been swinging for the fences. Like they're bringing back characters from before. I really like this comedian who plays the lunch guy, Reggie Conquest.
Yeah.
It was good to see him back on the show. But yeah, I would say pretty much anything that I watched that's only 8 episodes. I can take 13, I can take 20. But I mean, it's not really much I've been watching lately though.
It's the same. Literally, I only wrote down X-Men 97 on my entertainment list this week. I do believe I finished. I certainly did finish Fallout, but I don't know if I spoke about that already, and so I don't want to be bothered.
I didn't finish it yet. My partner cheated on me with the show. We watched it together. Then a couple a day later, she was finishing it up. I think she finished it last night. I'm like, I don't even remember what episode I'm on.
Me and Ness finished that one together, and we did what we ended up watching all of X-Men together. She did. Last week when she was at her sister's house, I had to. But I watched that episode because I was like, I gotta watch the episode. So I watched it by myself, but then we watched it when she came home. So we did watch it together. So that one actually was something. We got that popping together. What did she watch? She watched that Baby Reindeer, so I kind of heard it.
Yeah,
And
I didn't
then
finish it yet,
and
but
then
I
I
know all the plots and stuff that goes along with it. So
then Pierce Morgan was like, "Fuck it, let me interview this lady," and I'm like, "Why would you do that?"
what the
It's real
real
fucked
lady
up.
or the fake lady?
The real lady.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and yeah, she is just as crazy as that show and stage production portrayed her to be. Yeah. So that's a wild unbox. Any show that you like, please, man, dose me up a little bit more on that besides X-Men.
Lately, that's all I've really been watched is X-Men and
Yeah.
the NBA playoffs. So I guess you could dose me up a couple more Cavs games, but that's over.
Do you know the fit that the internet, not even the internet, apparently, according to Woj, that NBA coaches was having last week on Mother's Day when LeBron came and watched the game here? They was like, what is this about? What is
Coaches?
this about?
I heard like the execs, but the coaches, I didn't know about that.
Well, yeah. So that's what I mean. People up in the in these teams is like, what the fuck is happening here, Woj? And he like, Mother's Day, my man came home to see his folk, bro. Relax. But
could be more.
I mean, I would, even though I know he's a billion years old at this point and probably should go ahead and rest, baby. Open arms every time. I love him. It's my dude. Kyrie, same invitation. Richard Jefferson can probably come back and I'll let him fuck around on the court for a little bit. Fun TikTok follow. If you're not following Richard Jefferson on TikTok, you should be. Good dude for that kind of shit. So I'm saying I appreciate that. And I love that his kid is looking like potentially, and I realize it's just a little playing through, what I'm saying, training camp type shit. But it's looking like a better, potentially better
Player
professional player than he was a college player. And it's probably like, yeah, you probably weren't meant for college. And they just
he barely played
like,
in college.
Yeah. But
right now he's not I was looking at like the draft big board and he's not listed as even draftable prospect. So if he's going to get drafted, it's going to be because of nepotism.
Well, yeah, that's why he's going to get drafted. He's probably going to get drafted to somebody's D League team or G League team, one of those, whatever the alphabets, and it will go from there.
I wonder, and this is just my fantasy, like if somebody draft him early out of spite because instead of going to the Lakers, like, oh, you thought these are gonna pay
But no, he about to play here in Atlanta got the first pick.
Okay.
That's one of the mathematical anomalies. I get why they do what they do with the golf balls or the ping pong balls, but just do it like the NFL, man. Worst record, get the first pick. Just do that. It's like,
I don't know. I kind of like that. I think it's kind of dope. Was like, you got the chance, even if you won a championship, to get the number one pick.
You don't have a chance if you.
Yeah, but you don't.
Only the top 14 teams in the lot, like the first 14 picks are technically in the lottery. Everyone who makes the playoffs isn't in that lottery.
Yeah, unless they traded for something.
Yeah.
So,
like that lottery is how the Cavs got Kyrie, because that pick that we got Kyrie with was the Clippers pick, and it was supposed to be like the 8th pick or the 10th pick or some shit. And that microscopic like chance, it was like a 3 in 400 or some shit, and it hit.
Nice.
Yeah. Good times. Thanks, Daniel.
My first Father's Day.
Yay.
2016.
Man. I truly have nothing to share with you all this week, but I'm going to share my screen right quick. We're going to talk about this one thing.
Oh. Audio video. Roll the card in.
This screen. My son came home and told me about this one today. This is a Hot Wheels transformer.
Oh shit.
That is all die-cast metal. But it's still a Hot Wheels. So you know the scale you're working with here. And it's
$80. Goddamn.
80 god darn dollars. And I want you to know I'm probably gonna go ahead and try to give them $80.
YOLO. It's not super small though. It's
No,
kind
it's
of
not. It's not bad. And like I said, it has a like look at that the
it looked like Dorothy Slipper. That bitch is nice. I mean that boy is nice. Like
and that packaging is it's real good. And Xander was like, he goes, man, I paid something similar to that for that Run the Jewels one. And he goes, but you know this is gonna go up. It's gonna be like $1,600 almost on me. As y'all can see, there's literally a countdown for this. He's going on sale on 21st, which is Tuesday, at 9 a.m. Pacific, so noon our time. And yeah, I am probably gonna go ahead and attempt to get this.
limit 3 per customer.
Yeah. So speaking of which, today went on sale, 1,200 copies. Pusha T's My Name Is My Name on vinyl. Doesn't exist on vinyl, only came out on CD. And you had to sign up for Def Jam's email list, and they would email you a code to get the record. And I set an alarm to remind me. Noon comes around, no email. A little bit more goes around, no email. Email finally pops up, code King Push. Go type it in. I get the record. It's in my cart. I'm just deciding on what kind of shipping I want, and I'm just going to push go, and sold out. 3 minutes. I missed the record. You know how often I miss records? I don't. That's how often it happens. I just don't. It doesn't happen that I miss records. And I was super duper, not salty, just a wee bit about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, disappointed is actually what it is. A 3-star day in the plain dealer, if you will. And because what it is as soon as the code arrived to the first person, they just disseminated everywhere else. And so I go and I look on eBay and I'm like, everybody's selling it for like $150, $150. I'm like, you motherfuckers. Every one of you, your sons of whores. And then I see somebody's like $85 free shipping. And somebody below that is like $79 plus $5 for shipping. So $85. And I'm like, so that's the price. That's the price. And I paid for it because I love that album. And to have nostalgia and numbers on the board.
Oh my gosh.
And so forth on what is actually a very, let me see if I can find it for you. Go to my little history here.
And Nostalgia is such a good song. It's a good album, period, but Nostalgia is that song. For me. Like, oh man.
Click on it. It's just comes with a little trading card. It's black and white splatter vinyl, 1,200 copies. They only made 1,200. I'm like, why would you do that for an album that you know would get more burned if you just let us all? But I get it. Def Jam weird sometimes. And yeah, so I can't buy that. Like now you can bid. They have some bids going. I probably could have bid and saw what happened, but I'm like, I'm not to be bothered. I'm just here. Take this money while I happen to have it. And mail me my record when it's ready, motherfucker. So it's gonna go to that dude's house in Wisconsin first. Who, mind you, again, this record said limit 2 per customer, and this man on eBay saying this is his 3rd copy sold.
What
part of the game is that?
Bots.
And like I said, he's in Wisconsin. It'll make its way to me eventually. Blah blah yaggity schmackety. But man, that one had your boy a little vexed. But I am definitely going to attempt my hand at this damn Optimus Prime. We'll see how that plays out. I hope that I get it, and there you go, people. That's what dreams of spending money that I. Luckily, it's a 3-check month.
It is.
It is.
Well,
Yep.
May is? I did not know that.
Yes, sir. So it all good. But you know how we roll, people. Each week, if we're here and not just talking about Drake, Push, and Kendrick Lamar beef, we head to the subreddit. Am I the asshole? Where I select a few and we read a few. One of these is from was from Am I the Devil?
Oh shit.
And it's also from like 3 years back. But how I came across this is some of this story was on TikTok. And TikTok be bullshit and not giving you the rest of the story. So I was like, let me go find this story. And so I dug and I find a Reddit page that says what TikTok said, but there's no story beneath it because I guess it had been deleted. But in the comments, there's like, go here, here's the whole thing, and here's another link to have the couple of comments that she made on this one. So that one,
Excuse me.
actually, I think we'll probably open with that one. But let me read out. Let me give you all the selections for the week, just in case y'all are like, fuck that T, do this instead. Am I the asshole for telling my husband's parents and sister not to use me in their sick and twisted scheme to erase his late wife? Am I the asshole for spending my son's university fund on a trip to Europe to drink beer like I always threatened instead of giving it to his stepbrother after he passed away? And then the one I just told you about. Am I a hypocrite for making my husband cut out a friend and refusing to do the same? And it's actually Friends Divorce is Dividing Husband and I, is what the actual title of that is. And that's the one, like I said, we'll get the party started on that one. What was her name? Her name was... Oh no, this actually was in r/relationship advice is where this started at. It's right now it's MMI. It made its way to Am I the Devil. But whatever. I actually don't know what her name was because, like I said, this got moved at a rate and whatever. They found it on the Wayback Machine, and so you can kind of see where it was on Reddit. But still, and I'll read y'all this story. I truly believe y'all will, of course, yes, believe this woman is an asshole, but I'd like to know, I don't know, the depths, I guess, of it all.
The depths of the anal canal.
Friends Divorce is Dividing Husband, 37 male, and I, 40 female. I am 40 female. My husband is 37. Names have been changed. This is long. Buckle up. My husband and I have been happily married for 10 years. Minor bumps along the way, but nothing we couldn't communicate about and work through until now. My best friend Cindy and her husband Mike were going through a nasty divorce, and it has caused a serious rift between my husband and I. I didn't realize how serious it was till this morning when he told me he was going to stay at his brother's house for the weekend. To understand the current situation, there's a bit of background I need to provide. 4 years ago, my hubby's close friend Alan was caught having an affair on his wife. We'll call her Carol. I was good friends with Carol. Not super close, but we get together for cocktails a few times a month, and occasionally we'd go on double dates. My husband told me that Alan had been unhappy for a while because Carol had stopped having sex with him. When I talked to Carol, she didn't deny this. She said that Alan had gained weight and she was no longer attracted to him. This is somewhat true. He was around 6 feet tall and went from 200 pounds to 250 pounds over the course of a year. Those are estimates. Alan was a chef and started sleeping with a female coworker, 15 years younger than him. He was 35, she was 20. The affair lasted for some time before they were caught at work, and it all came out. He was fired, and Carol left him. Cheating hits very close to home for me. My father had an affair on my mother when I was young, and it ripped the family apart. Carol and Alan had 2 children, and the divorce hit them hard. I was there for her and the kids through it all. The divorce was ugly and costly. Suffice to say, it would take Alan years to financially recover. Throughout the ordeal, my husband still talked to Alan and would occasionally loan him money. The money isn't the issue, as my husband and I both work and have our own accounts. The issue was that Alan had just cheated on his wife and ruined their family. I didn't want my husband remaining friends with him. Alan started drinking and going down a dark path. He was trying to drag my husband down with him. I told my husband if he continues his friendship with Alan, then we would have problems. After some back and forth, and me basically putting my foot down, he agreed to basically cut Alan out. We didn't need influences or people like that in our life. I should mention my husband says he didn't know about the affair, which is still which I still question. But without proof he knew, I let it go. Alan was extremely upset when my husband told him they no longer be friends. They had grown up together, but I didn't want men like that in our life. Shortly after all this, we were reflecting on everything. My husband said something that I never forgot. That I never forgot. He said, "One day, one of your friends will do something that they regret, and you need, and need you. Forgive me. I hope that you have the same wherewithal, yeah, to cut them out if I ask you to." Cut to the present, and you guessed it, my bestie Cindy cheated on her husband Mike. Mike worked in manufacturing and was laid off in the midst of COVID. He eventually went back to work, but at a much lower wage, according to her, and money was tight for them. Cindy picked up a job working as a barista. And she tells it one of her regulars was a younger guy in retail who has an eye for her and was constantly asking her to get together. He would slip her $100 tips a few times a week, she says. He knew she was married. Eventually, Cindy gave in and started seeing this guy regularly on her days off while Mike was working. She told me she always felt guilty and knew it was wrong, but couldn't stop herself. She said the sex was like she never experienced with Mike, and she felt wanted and desired again. They were caught with her when their oldest daughter came home early from school because she wasn't feeling well. Cindy was busy with her AP, didn't see the text from her daughter, and the daughter walked in on them. The daughter told Mike. Mike was devastated, and they're getting divorced. The family was basically ostracized Cindy and wants nothing to do with her currently. I and a few friends have been her support through everything. I need to say that I recognize what she did is terrible. However, my husband has pounced on this opportunity and is demanding I cut contact with her completely. Just like I did with him 4 years ago, he says, we don't need cheating cradle robbers in our lives. I explained this is different, this is different, and the issues between Mike and Cindy were more complicated, and she feels genuine remorse and wants her family back. Also, what his friend did years ago was creepy. He says he doesn't care about the issue or how she feels, and that he made a sacrifice for me years ago by cutting out one of his closest friends, and I need to do the same for him. I told him I wasn't going to do that, and that he's being petty and vengeful, and he knows the situations are completely different. This morning, he's heading to his brother's for the week. He said he's heading to his brother's for the weekend. He said he feels betrayed. I honestly don't see how he feels this way. I don't know what to do. I asked him not to go. I told him I loved him and we can talk this out. He responded with, I'll see you Monday. I'm at a loss.
I feel like the one issue that sticks out to me is it kind of seems like the husband was waiting for one of her friends to fuck up.
Yes. And he literally said so.
Yes, yes. But he not only was he waiting, he was just like he was waiting on it to happen. Like he wanted it to happen. Like he wanted the excuse to be mad about it happening.
Yes.
Yes. Like so that makes I kind of makes it like I don't know. It makes it worse to me. Like I feel like the husband's an asshole for that.
Daniel.
I will say that's a long ass story.
There's actually some more.
I was trying my best.
I want to get through this.
Oh man, there's more. Jeez.
There's more of them. There's more Waynes.
Yeah, there's more wangers on the glass at the alumni club. Shit. Yeah, I mean, if it sounds like a shitty thing to do, like there's just so much infidelity at the beginning of the story that my head was spinning.
So, his best friend from childhood, wife, stop sleeping with him. His wife was like, "Yo, you not fucking your husband?" And she goes, "Nah, he gained weight." That same husband got with a chick at his job, grudge on the floor like Mister did to Seeley, and got caught. And his wife divorced him and took him for all his dough. Her homegirl, all these years later, husband got fired during COVID, got another job, but ain't making as much dough. So she picked up a job, works at a coffee shop, has a regular coming in who tips her high, who's a young dude.
John.
Are you saying the ex-wife of the other dude, or this is another friend?
No, it's another friend. Another friend.
Okay, so I think I'm picking up on this. So the wife wanted him to cut out the friend because the friend was a cheater. Yes. And now she has a friend that's cheating, and he wants her to cut that friend out. Is that what I'm? Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
So this is a tit for tat, petty relationship bullshit. Okay.
Told her off the rip, was like, look here, one day one of your friends gonna do this, and I want you to be able to I want you to be able to do what you just had me do, and that's cut somebody out of my life completely, because you don't fuck with him. And then that time came. And like I said, you've been given a heads up that this is going to go down like this. Here you are, sided with a woman who just decided out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? It was like, nah, I'm just going to fuck this dude. Just because he's young and got dough.
And more penis to share. Because she was like, he rocked her world. She was squirting and everything. Can I show you how your pussy works?
Let's get to the edit. I believe the situations. Oh, hold on. Are these situations different?
Yes.
Please tell me why.
The first one, the lady stopped sleeping with her husband?
Yes.
No, that's Anthony's not confirming. He's saying like that's the major difference, that like that lady basically killed their marriage before that dude stepped out of bounds. Whereas this other one, it sounds like, unless we have more information, it sounds like she just decided to cheat.
Yeah.
So the lady says, I believe these situations were different because my friend is genuinely remorseful.
So
you don't know how Alan felt.
Man, that ain't got shit to do with shit. You're sorry you got caught, not sorry you did it.
She wants to reconcile. Alan, the man, the friend she made her husband get rid of, did not. He acted like he didn't care and showed little remorse.
He regretted what remorse because his wife stopped fucking him.
He regretted what he did, but did not because he betrayed his wife. But not because he betrayed his wife, but because of how it affected his children and his relationship with them. This really didn't sit well with me. Alan started partying with a younger crowd from his work, doing drugs, not weed. Drinking heavy and just overall regressing as an adult, and I didn't want him dragging my husband into it.
He was probably in a deep-ass spiral.
2, it's really hard to accept that someone you consider your best friend could do something so vile. I try to tune out the detail about her daughter catching them because it's so sad and heartbreaking. I've always thought she was such a good mother and model wife. I looked up to her even. What does that weigh about my, it's supposed to be say, but you weigh. What does that say about my judgment of character? 3, now that I've accepted that I have to do, and I feel, now that I've accepted what I have to do, and I feel consumed with guilt, the thought of cutting Cindy out of my life hurts. We've been through a lot. Our families have vacationed together. I've confided in her and vice versa. It's scary to imagine just telling her, sorry, but we're done. Really? Because that's what you made your husband do for Alan. And knowing that exactly what I made my husband do and realizing how he must have felt, there you go. It feels really shitty. He doesn't show a ton of emotion. He is very much a man's man. Had he told me he was feeling this way, I wouldn't have made him do it. I regret it a lot. 4, the responses are overwhelming. It's been hours and strangers are telling me I'm a horrible person and my husband should divorce me. I feel sick. I texted him a novel minutes ago telling him how sorry I was, that I feel guilty, I feel stupid, that I'm sorry about what I made him do years ago, and now I know how he felt. I told him I will cut Cindy out if that's what he really wants. I told him to reconnect with Alan. I asked him to come home and talk to me before heading to his brother's. I'm waiting for him to respond. He's too good to me. He'll probably forgive me, tell me I don't have to cut Cindy out, and I'll feel even worse. I'm not looking for sympathy. I just feel like absolute shit right now. Thanks for the slap of reality.
Man.
And again, I have the only two other comments she made about this that people saved. And the woman says, after reading my post aloud to myself and seeing the responses, I'm beginning to realize I may be in the wrong. I may be in the wrong. I didn't add it, but my friend is very much pushing to reconcile and is genuinely remorseful. When his friend cheated, it was the opposite. I feel that does make the situation different. Also, this isn't a troll /outrage post or whatever. And then she also says, his friend who cheated didn't fight for his family. My friend wants to reconcile and is willing to do whatever it takes. I should have added that in the post, though I'm getting crucified already on here, so I'm not sure it matters.
You know what else make that shit a lot worse? She did that under her own fucking roof. Like, that's the thing. Like, at least he was fucking the other lady at the restaurant. Like, you in my fucking kitchen getting blown out? Come on, man.
Yeah. I guess because we're in this particular subreddit, am I the devil? Is this woman the devil?
The devil? No.
That's the measure they use here. I'm sorry.
I mean, she pretty fucking bad, though. Like, she made sure that shit went down and then was like, well, he really didn't have to do it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like, she's not the devil, but she's definitely an asshole.
and not a dick. You're an asshole. Epically and terribly. Fuck off. Whew. Am I the asshole for telling my husband's parents and sister not to use me in their sick and twisted scheme to erase his late wife? I'm married to a widower. We've been married for 4 years, together for 6, and known each other for 8. We met at a grief support group. Oof. I lost my sister to cancer around the same time he lost his wife, Tasha. We bonded and supported each other, and our relationship happened slowly over 2 years of being friends. One thing I have always known is his love for Tasha has never faded. He never wants it to fade. He misses her every single day. So do his children, my stepchildren. He struggled with the idea of finding someone else, not least of all because his husband started pushing 13 months after his loss. In time, he wanted this himself, and we fell in love. But I've always known there would be no us without his loss. I was never jealous or insecure about that. I love his love for Tasha. It tells me how amazing he is as a person. It's also good for his kid to see the love he still holds for their mom. My sister's widower remarried after 6 months, and he erased my sister with their children. He stopped me having a relationship with them too, and I hate it. The kids being good with us was the most important thing to us when we became something more. The only condition they had to their support was their mom. They didn't want her to be forgotten. They didn't want my husband to stop talking about her or for her photos to disappear from the house. Some came down, but they're still in the house. They're just not on the walls, and there are still photos of her around. It works. I tell my daughter, too, and we will tell my son I'm pregnant with that she's their big sibling's mom and daddy's late wife. They'll know who she is and what she means to our family. But my husband's parents and sister don't like that Tasha is still very much loved and kept alive. They don't like her. They didn't approve of their son / brother marrying at 20 and loving someone who came from a very unfavorable family. They judged Tasha for it harshly. They think I'm far better, so they expect me to replace Tasha. They're especially horrified that my husband keeps a photo of Tasha in his wallet and on his desk at work. There are photos of me in both. Recently, they brought this up with me and told me I should forbid my husband from doing this. They said it's horribly disrespectful to me and has prevented my husband's teenage children from truly embracing me as their mother. They told me to march right up to him in front of everyone and to tell him that he cannot keep photos of his dead wife anymore. It bothered me so much that they were so callous about it. I told them not to use me for their sick and twisted scheme to erase Tasha because I wanted no part of it. They focused on the sick and twisted they focus on the sick and twisted aspect and are saying I called them sick and twisted and accused me of overreacting to their support. My husband was furious with them when he heard and told them to be thankful his kids hadn't hurt them. Am I the asshole though? Only because you wrote this story and you knew you wouldn't know an asshole.
I think, especially what they keep on saying, Tasha, I feel like his first wife was black and the second one is not.
Oh, it's real obvious. And Tasha Cleveland.
It's definitely in the house.
No, you're not an asshole. And that shit is weird. It's real weird. they gonna come through and like, again. I just told you earlier this episode, my children's mother passed away. It's only like I said, only a little bit, only like a couple of years after we had been divorced. But we was wild tight even after being divorced. We were better friends than we were husband and wife at that point in time. You know what I'm saying? And so I same as this dude. We keep her memory alive and talk about her often and share all the good things and good memories of her because why would we not? And my partner is fully aware of it, fully versed in it, and was never weird about it. And for a very long time, I had her picture on my desk. It was a picture of us like the first time we had a picture together as a family. I'm saying after my youngest was born. And so that was on my desk at work, you know, and it's in my kids' room now. So it's like it still exists here in this home. So I know a version of this life, and no, you're not the asshole. You're a very, very good soul, and I think it's nice that he found such a good person to share the rest of his days with, who can appreciate that what he's missing and misses, but also that he can, you know, he can come together enough to make sure he loves you and you love him. And his family is fucking weird. And no, you're not the asshole.
Agreed.
Yeah, nothing to add to that.
We ride out. Last one. Am I the asshole for spending my son's university fund on a trip to Europe to drink beer like I always threatened instead of giving it to his stepbrother after he passed away? My son was smart, smarter than me. I almost requested a paternity test because he was so damn intelligent. That is a joke. My ex and I divorced when he was about 12. She remarried when he was 14. I did when he was 16. I had an RESP set up for him. That's an education fund in Canada. So as long as he went for post-secondary education, he could use the money for anything. I always told him that it was okay. I was okay with him not going to university. That way, I could use the money I'd saved up for him to go to Belgium, buy some beer from Monks that only allow you to buy one case. He knew I was joking, and he always played along. He wouldn't let me get his goat. When he got accepted to McGill, it was the proudest moment of my life. I took him out for a beer to celebrate his achievement and mourn the loss of my trip to Europe. My son was struck and killed by a drunk driver in March.
Oh, no.
I'm dealing with it. My ex is dealing with it. My wife has been nothing but my rock. She is holding me up. I was dealing with the funeral arrangements and everything when my ex came to talk to me about his money. She knew he had a scholarship and was just going to use money for living expenses and emergency fund. She asked me what I was going to do with it. I said I was going to do what I always said I would do. I was going to Europe to drink beer. She asked if she could have it for her stepson. This is not the way I thought this was going. I thought about it and said, no. Her husband is a decent enough person, but he made it clear that he wasn't responsible for any expenses for my son, beyond food and shelter and stuff, obviously. Like I said, he is decent. I said I was not going to do that. I was going to go drink beer in my son's honor. She says that I'm wasting thousands of dollars, and I guess I am. I have to give back the government portion of the fund, but I don't care. My ex thinks I'm being stupid and irresponsible wasting my son's money like this. I don't care. My son would laugh his ass off if he knew I actually did it. This person's not an asshole, but he is in mourning, and I'm so sorry for his loss. And
Yeah,
I thought it was.
it never ceases to amaze me how many not the death scenario that's in this particular one, but how many scenarios we have where like the stepbrother or sister, you know, thinks they should get money from somebody that's not even their parent or has nothing to do with them, or that happens so much. Like so many people are entitled to things that don't belong to them.
Man.
The brass boobs on this lady.
Not the asshole, but Jesus Christ, I'm so sorry. Can you tell us more about your son? Share your favorite story about him, what he wanted to do for a job, your favorite activity together. My son wanted to study microbiology and immunology. He was thrown for a loop by the pandemic, and he wanted to make sure it didn't happen again. He talked about a lot of stuff that went over my head, and I'm a baker, and I went over my head. I'm a baker. I understand yeast. He loved the Habs. I would get his tickets at least once a year. He loved kayaking with me. We were so close. We are so close to so much water. Man, goddamn. I try not to read these ahead of time, and I feel like I should have read it some time to prepare myself a little bit. I'm a little taken aback by this one. This one kind of got me in my chest a little bit, y'all. Sorry. No, sir, you're not an asshole. Raise one up for me, for your son, man. May he rest easy, and may your soul be at ease in dealing with this loss. I'm so sorry for you and yours. Fucking hell. Weirdo ex-wife asked for money for her stepson. No blood between any of this. Get out of here. No.
I'm sure that other kid's a good kid and all, but like, what?
Then his daddy should be paying for his college.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here. That was Arm of the Ass of the Week. Hope you enjoyed them. They'll be in your show notes if you want to read them yourself and comment or so forth, depending on how you get down with Reddit. Yeah. We have the old list here. We already discussed X-Men 97, and I'm telling you right now, I ain't really watched much else. I am playing Star Wars Jedi Survivor. It's on Xbox. I'm playing it on Xbox. It's on Game Pass. If you have Game Pass Ultimate, it gives you access to the EA catalog of games. You too can be playing it. I am listening nonstop at this point. Non-fucking stop. People, I listen to this song multiple times any given day. It is Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar. The number one song in the world. And Baca got a weird case. Why is he around?
Yeah.
I just need to know. People. But that's basically what I've been getting down with entertainment-wise currently. I told you earlier, what's the T? Done hit me back to back. So I've been on that in my podcast listening situation. For you, the listener of this podcast, Chaffee and I did get that first episode of So Chef recorded. I'm actually working on that edit right now. It should hopefully be up tomorrow, but by the time you hear this, it would have been up last Friday. And that's usually the schedule we kind of roll with for getting out episodes on KP. KP is usually recorded on Tuesday, and I try to have it out on that Friday. And so if it works like it works like it's supposed to work, that's what's popping over in the creme patissier realm. Get down with that. What about you guys? Again, you know what Box watch, but you guys you watch anything else, plan anything, listen to anything, so forth, so on?
I've been I have a free trial of a YouTube Music, so I've been listening to that a fair amount and discovering some new songs. But I watched Iron Claw yesterday.
What'd you think?
Man, that shit, it's sad as shit, man. I watched some of Baby Reindeer, but I've listened to a couple podcasts that have pretty much told me the whole plot. I'll probably finish that later. I've been watching Hacks. It's just something about that show I like. It was funny. I was about to run it back, and then the new episodes came back.
Nice.
I've been watching a little bit of Sugar on Apple TV Plus.
What is that show about? It popped up in my new episode of Sugar available, and I'm like, what is that about?
It's about, without spoiling it, it's about a guy who's a detective who's obsessed with old movies and and culture.
Who's in it?
What's that dude? Who's the guy that played the penguin again? Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
Colin Farrell plays Sugar. I feel like you would enjoy it, but there's something I think you would enjoy it. It's okay. I don't want to spoil it too much. And actually, from articles or from TikTok, they say you should spoil it and it'll make you enjoy it more. But I still won't do that.
Cool. All right. You playing anything? No, you been a busy
Um,
man.
no, not really. Like I like sometimes I'll play Cars 3 at my desk because it's just I can just play a little bit even though I still haven't beat it yet, but man, I still have so much to play that I haven't played.
Yeah. That's how he gets down. It's an update for Vampire Survivors that has like Contra content. And I paid for it on the Switch. I still got to pay for it on Xbox because I like Vampire Survivors. Vampire Survivors costs like $3. The DLC for it is like $3 each. So you can have probably all of Vampire Survivors for like $15 tops. You should be fucking with Vampire Survivors is a great game. If you're a gamer, I think you should get down with that. Box?
T.
I know what you're watching. You're watching X-Men 97. I also know what you're playing, and that is Call of Duty Warzone. Anything else?
Yeah. No, honestly, no. I watched the NBA playoffs, and I did those things. That's literally all I've done.
Fair. Let me see.
I haven't watched any movies. I haven't watched any other shows. I haven't listened to any podcasts. I've been very locked into what the few things I've been doing.
You just check.
Well, I guess unless you count Pokemon Go
Always.
and
And
gambling.
Monopoly Go, of course. You know how it gets down.
Oh, Monopoly Go, yeah.
Yeah. Nothing there. And let me check the old Spotify page. Dot, fuck them up. I'm gonna do my stuff. Look for no interact is a button I need to push. My thumb. All right. Yep, and nothing on the Spotify page. Let's shut it down, people. We podcast to you, and I like to get down with the get down. You know what it is. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share the show wherever possible. Please subscribe to the show over on YouTube. And give us a follow on, I'm going to say Instagram, not Twitter. Again, I don't really do much with the Twitter anymore, and I'm going to change that actually in my notes. I'm going forward. I can have the word Instagram right there. It's going to force me to read it to y'all every week. Give us a follow on Instagram. I like to have you guys, I like as many of you guys as possible. Just give us a follow over there. I just post it. The only thing I do is post a show there. But it's always a lot of little fun art. And I always got a little music. The music, it actually has the version. If it's not like some mixtape song that I can't get a hold of, and even now, if it is, I know how to make it, so I can just cut together a video right quick that will make it I'll make music. I'll make the music work. But you'll basically hear the actual version of the rhymes I did at the beginning of the show, and that's kind of fun. If you ever wonder what they sound like in reality. So I think we're a good Instagram follow. Not too much in your business, not too much up in your feed, but when we are, we're there. You know what it is. If you want to support the show financially, got a few bucks to toss our way, consider joining us over on Patreon. Remember to the $5 tier, get extra content each month and early access to new shows. I got to whip up something for them. It's getting like midway through the dang month. My apologies, my patrons. You know I love you. We also got merch over at tpublic.com/user/StateCountryMilk, all one word. I'm wearing a podcast shirt right now. Get down over there. Buy a shirt. Buy a notebook or something. You'll love it. Feel free to give us a call, 216-264-6311. That's 216-264-6311. We would certainly love to hear from you. You can message that line. You can just give us a call on that line. You're good either way. Thanks for joining us this week, y'all. That right there is the 216's on Tatum.
Yes. Good night. Or morning or afternoon.
Whenever you got to get down, to get down. It's the big homie Lunchbox 2099.
Just wait until I drop my diss track.
Peach Pepsi, meh. Lime Pepsi, yeah. Sour Patch Kid Oreo. I told Chalfie it's a 5 out of 5 for doing what it's saying it's gonna do on the package.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying one of them situations, but in reality, it's like a 2.5 kind of cookie situation. Cause it's not gross like the Sour Patch Kid cereal, which was gross, but it's not great either. So, you're just kind of missing with it. But I would certainly recommend everyone try it if you are so inclined. Sour Patch Kids Oreos, they're a thing. And
Better
maybe
in
you'll
milk?
enjoy them. I have yet to dip one of these motherfuckers in milk, and maybe I need to. But also, I don't know how I feel about sour milk. You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, I like a creamy lemony thing, so it might work. But
right.
we have some, we just haven't eaten them yet.
Also, the fact that I still have them after however long, let you know they're not really setting the house on fire. So
Not setting the house on fire is hilarious.
yeah, Lee's friend was over the other day, and so I made us all sit and try them together. So me, Ness, Nadia, and Lee all sat and tried them together. And then they were like, "Ooh, you know what? Let's go get the Miracle Berries. We have Miracle Berries here."
Mm-hmm.
And so they tried it with Miracle Berries, and they liked it better after Miracle Berries. So, because it makes sour things sweeter. So there you go. That's how it gets down, people. Oh, me, I am the internet's Tay-Rail 713. You, nope, that's not we in the show no more. Don't make me push you into traffic. We'll catch you next time. Peace.
What happened to your ass? It used to be beautiful.